take the
Excuse me, ma'am, you are not audible.
Am I not audible? Yeah. Am I clear now?
Yeah, yeah. Not.
Okay. Let me one second. Yeah. Here. Uh, and after that, you should close your paragraph type. I hope everyone is clear with this. Okay. Let me add some CSS. Like here, I just want to add the text decoration like underline, line through, and overline. Okay. So first thing, text decoration, underline, text decoration, line through. Okay. See, here you can clearly see that for the first thing I have given that text underline means it sets the line under the content means below the content. Here for this, yeah. Here the line is set it below the content. And secondly, I have given that text decoration that is line through means here, yeah, the line is set at the middle of the content. Okay, means here the overlay means it sets the line above the content. Actually, this is the difference between set decoration line means we can set the line above the line below or line through. Here we have three properties, that is overline, underline, line through. Okay, this is all about the text decoration line. And followed by we have another property that is text decoration style. Okay, what is this text decoration style means? This property is used to set the style of the line. Here, actually we got the line in a a solid format, but here I just want to get this line in a dotted format, or I want to get this form in a dash double format. If at all, if you want to print your lines in such formats like dotted, wave, doubly, dash, then we have that facilities also. Okay. Here I gave that underline with double. See, we got the double line. Okay, see here. This is the maximum choice. Yeah, okay. Here we got the underline. Okay, let me print my line through in a dashed format. See, because we got the output in a dashed format, and here instead of dashed, you can even get a dotted also. Yeah. Yeah, see, we got the line in a dotted line. We got the dotted line. Means this is all about the text decoration style. Means this property is generally used to set the style of the line. See, defaultly I got the line in a solid format. But if at all, if you want to print your set your line in a dotted or dashed or double format, then you can use these styles. Okay, and followed by we have another property that is text decoration color. What is this text decoration color means? This property is used to provide the color to the decoration. Okay, here I got everything in a black color. Even if at all if you want to change the color of your lines, then you can change. Okay, let me show. Underline, double, red. See, I got the double in a red color format. Let me check for this also. Blue. See, I got the dotted in a blue color format. Actually, this is how we can add the colors to lines. Okay. This property is used to provide the colors to this decoration. Here I have given that I just want to get the line, I mean, overline with the dotted and with the color blue. Okay. This is all about the text decoration color. This is all about the CSS text decoration. Like here we have here we have three properties, that is text decoration line, text decoration color, text decoration style. Coming to the text decoration line, we have three values like overline, underline, and line through. And coming to the text decoration style, this property is used to set the style of the line. And here coming to the values, we have values like dotted, double, dashed, solid, and everything. And followed by we have another text decoration property, that is text decoration color. This property is used to provide the color to the decoration. Okay, it's valuing any color in a valid format. Here I gave color like blue, red, or you can give any colors like yellow, green. It's all about your wish. This is all about the text decoration. And now I want to teach you guys about CSS lists. Um, there are various CSS properties that can be used to control the list. Okay, list can be classified. Generally, I have explained about lists, like lists are classified into two types, that is ordered list and unordered list. Uh, in ordered list, marking of the list items is with the alphabets or numbers or in some Roman numbers like. Whereas coming to the unordered list, the list items are generally marked with the bullets, some arrow marks in such that I have explained all the I mean about list, like we have two types of list, ordered list, unordered list, everything. And for this list, we can style this list using CSS also. Okay, like CSS properties allows for list like set the distance between the text and the marker in the list, and specify an image of the marker instead of using this number or bullet point, and control the marker appearance and shape, and place the marker outside and inside the box that contains the list items, set the background colors to list items and list items. Okay, these are all the CSS properties that which we are used in the list. And there are some CSS properties that are generally can be used to style the list, that is list style type. What is this list style type means? This property is responsible for controlling the appearance and shape of the marker. Okay, and followed by we have another property, that is list style image. What is this list style image means? It sets an image for the marker. Okay, instead of a number, or generally we gave that number or bullet, but instead of giving this number or bullet, we can set the image. Okay, and followed by we have another property, that is list style position. What is this list style position means? It is specify the position of the marker. Okay, and followed by we have some list style like this is shortened property for the all properties, like we can by using this list style property we can set the above properties like type, image, position. Okay, and we have another property that is marker offset, like it is used to specify the distance between the text and the marker. Let me give an example. um, Here the first property was list style type. Okay, list style type property. Let me give somewhat brief introduction about this list style type property. It allows us to change the default list type of the marker to any other type, such as you can change your list type to square, a circle, or even Roman numericals, Latin letters, many more. We have many list types. Okay, generally by default the order list of items are numbered with the Arabic numbers like 1, 2, 3, etc. And the items in the unordered list are generally marked with the round value. I mean, some rounded bullets like dots. Okay, but we can change the types of the list. Okay, and there is another thing that is you should keep in mind that if you set list type to none, then it will remove all the bullets or all the markers. Okay, if you set like list type equals to none, list style type equals to none. Let me create one list and let me add some list style type property. Let me delete all this. Okay. Yeah, here I'm creating an order list. Let me take, sorry. Yeah, I have created one list. Yeah, default is for order list. The default values are 1, 2, 3. Let me change these values. Well, classic. One second. Okay. Here I want to change this list type. Here defaultly I got the list type that is numbers, because I have already said that for order list by default we get the list items in a numbered form like 1, 2, 3, 4. For the unordered list we got the we got the lists in a some rounded bullet type. Let me show you. Let me create one unordered list also. So after that, I will add the properties to both the ordered list and unordered list. And let me take class equals to here B. C F G. Okay. Yeah. See, this is ordered list and this is unordered list. Ordered lists are generally printed with I mean numbered format, and unordered lists are printed with the dotted like some round dotted format. Okay, now here I just want to change the list types. Okay, here I want to print these ordered list in a decimal format, and here I just want to print this unordered list in a lower alpha format. Okay, let me show you how we can print. Here I have created class that is first thing a list type, list style type. Okay. So list style type class equals to a. So we got output for this. Let me change this to decimal. Lower Roman. Okay, let me check it in. Let me change this format to square. Yeah. Circle. So we got everything so clear. So here you can see that in this way we can change the list style types. Okay. By defaultly we got this list in a for this A B C list we got this list in an embed format, and here coming to the unordered list we got this list in some dotted format. Here I have changed the formats. Here I have changed the list style type. Like here, the unordered list changes to A, B, C. And here I have changed these ordered list style type to some circle, or you can change it to square, lower alpha, lower Roman, and that's all about your wish. There are other also like circle, or even you can change your list style type to square. Okay. This is all about the list style type property. Generally it is used to change the type of the list. Okay, you can change your list style type to square, circle, Roman letters. Okay, it's all about your wish and your need. And followed by we have another property, that is list style position property. What is this list style type? I mean, list style position property means it represents whether the appearing of the marker, appearing of that particular bullet or marker is inside or outside of the box. Okay, inside of the box containing the bullet points, and it includes two values. Here, the first value is inside, and second value is outside. What is inside means? It means that the bullet points will be in the list items. In this, if the text goes on the second line, then the text will be wrapped under the marker. Okay, see in some websites you can clearly see that uh, even if that particular text is goes to second line, but the text is in between that bullet point. Okay, this is what value means. And coming to the outside means, what is this outside means? It represents that the bullet points will be the outside the list items. Actually, this is the default one. Okay, if you print your list items, the default list type position is outside. Let me show an example. One second. There is nothing in it. If you create where we can use this list style, where we can use this inside value means, if you tell, if you in your list, if you create much content, even you see, if you see in resumes, in resumes we generally uh, I mean, make our projects with this some bulleted, like we generally put some heading for that project, like if you create if your title of this project is student faculty dashboard, and that is the title of the project. Inside of that, you write something about that project. Okay, actually you wrote all this content with these bullets. So in such cases, these inside property is used. Okay. Here I have created that list type that is circle list style position. Okay, that is inside. See here I have given only three values so that you may can't understand about this inside properties. Please try with some large content. Okay, then you can understand about this inside property. And the default one is outside. If we it's all about your wish, you can even mention this outside position property, or you can ignore this outside property also. Okay, actually it's the default one. This is all about the list style position property. It what is this list style type? I mean, position property means it represents whether the appearing of this marker is inside or outside of this box containing these bullet points. Okay. Here we have two values, that is inside and outside. Um, I hope everything is clear till now. And followed by we have another property, that is list style image property. What is this list style image property means? It specifies an image as the marker. Okay, see, I have already explained that instead of giving these bullets, instead of giving some circle squares, lower alpha, upper alpha, we can give these images. Okay, we can set these images as the bullets. Okay, it's the syntax is similar to that background image property, means if it does not finding the corresponding image, then the default bullets will be used. I will show you. This style image URL of see here, there is a small a here. Here, here. Here we have a, means here the first image represents letter A. Okay, the first item of the list. Here you should decrease your length and width of, I mean height and width of your image. This is what generally list style image property means. Means it specifies image as the bullet. Okay, using this property we can set image bullets. Okay. This is all about the list style I mean list style properties. Like we have some list style image property. We have list style position property. We have list style type property. And finally, we have this property, that is the list style property. It is the shortened property, means that is in above. If here I have mentioned that three properties, that is list style position, list style image, where you can set all these properties in one line. In such case, you can use this list style property, means in one expression, means we can set all the properties in one expression. The order of the values of this property is type, position, and image. First, you have to mention this type. and followed by you should mention your position, and after that you have to mention this image. Okay, but if any property value is missing, then the default value will be inserted. Like for ordered list, the default value is numbers. For unordered list, the default value is some bullets. Let me show. You can delete all these things. Mm, Let me print it in lower alpha. Let me take inside. After that, type position image. Yeah. So here we got this list here. B. Here, where is C? Yeah, here. C. Wait. See, here we have this. You can even set the font size. Yeah. Here for this list means here B, here C, here A. Okay. I hope everything is clear till now. This is all about list style property. You can set all properties in one expression. So we have put list style. I mean list style and list style. I mean position, list style type, list style position, and list style image. If you want to put all these properties in one line, then you can use this list style property. Okay. And there is another property that is styling lists with colors. Okay, means to make the list more attractive and interesting, we can style list with the colors. Like the one addition of anything to this UL or I mean no, like OL tag. Generally, we use this UL and OL tag. UL tag is for unordered list and OL tag is for ordered list. Um, Let me show how we can add colors to this list. Like you can set this background or you can set some paddings also. Here I have set the for this ordered list I have set this font size. Here, let me delete this image. Let it be in lower alpha. In, okay. See here I have set this background that is which is in pink color. Let me our weird one, red color. Yeah. Okay. Or you can even set font colors also. Yeah. This is how we can add these colors to this some I mean this is how you can styling the lists. Okay, let me add some padding. Yeah. um, Let me check margin also. See, if you take some 70. Yeah. Okay. This is how you can add. This is how you can style the list. Like here, you can add many more also. You can set font sizes, font colors, padding, margins, everything. Okay, that's all about your wish. This is how we can style the list. Okay, this is all about the list. In the list we can styling the list with the colors. Generally we have for this list we have three properties, that is list style image property, list style position property, list list style type property. If you want to set all these three properties, that is list style type, list style I mean list style position, list style image in one expression, then you can use this list style property also. Okay, this is all about the CSS list. And here now I'm going to explain you guys about CSS max height property. What is the CSS max height property means? Okay. It sets the maximum height of the elements content box. Means it's that the height of the content box can be smaller than the max height value, but cannot be greater. Okay. It sets the upper bound on the element's height, and when the content is larger than the maximum height, it will overflow. And if the content is smaller than the max height, the property does not affect. Okay, this property ensures that the value of this height property cannot be greater than the value of this max property, and it does not allow the negative values. Okay. uh, Sometimes it is useful to limit the element's height to a certain range. And for this max CSS max height property, we have some values like none. Means here the none means it is the default one, means it does not limit the size of this content box. And we have another value that is length, means the value defines this max height in the pixels, or you can set it in pt. Okay. Or initial means it sets the property to its default value. Inherit means it inherits the property from its parent elements. Let me show an example. Let me delete all this. Okay. Okay. Let it be. Let me. Okay. Yeah. Here I have created some paragraph. Let me add this max height property to this paragraph tag. Yeah. See, like that max height, we have another properties like max width also. I will explain max height. You please do practice on the max width property. Okay. You can even set your max height properties in PT also. Let me some PT picture, and you can set your max height in let me okay. So If you take some large paragraph text, then you can understand this max height property, max width property in a better way. Right now I don't have any paragraph. Okay, you please do practice on this max height property, and followed by we have yeah, I have explained about this max height property. You please do practice on this max width property. There is nothing in this max width property. You should here I have mentioned that max height. Followed by here you should mention this max width. Okay. Okay, one second. For this max width also we have the same CSS property values, that is none, length, initial, inherit. Uh, Here in such way max width. Okay. Yeah, in this way we can set this max width. Like this max height and max width, we have some other properties also, like min height and min width. What is this min height means? It sets the minimum height of the elements. Elements content box means, it means that the uh, height of this content box can be greater than the minimum height value, but cannot be shorter. Okay, it sets the lower bound on the element's height. And like this maximum height, maximum width, we have the same CSS property values, that is none, length, initial, inherit means it inherits the properties from its parents element. Okay, here also you can
So you
set
can set
some, sorry. Here I have given that max height and max width. Here you have to give min height, and followed by here you have to give min width. Sorry, min width. Okay. The values also, like the values are also same. Means you can set your values in some pixels, like 50 pixel, 30 pixel. You can set your elements in some pts like 30 pt, 150 pt, and you can even set your values in em. Okay, this is all about max height, max width, minimum height and minimum width properties. And this is all about cs. Okay, this is all about css, like I completed all the css basics, but we have some css advanced properties also, like okay, please do practice on all css advanced properties, like we have some animations. First do practice on css basics, and after that please do practice on css advanced properties. From Monday onwards, I will start the Django part. Okay. This is, one second, guys. Don't leave anyone. I will take the attendance. Okay. This is all for today's. Like from Monday onwards, I will start the Django part, and there is no time to explain all the installations and everything. You please install Django in your system. Like there are some pip commands. Okay. There is a holiday, like Sunday is a holiday, right? So please work on Django installation. You don't need to do anything. There are some pip commands. Okay. You have to what is this? You have please go to Google, and please do some Google search. There are some pip commands. You can install your Django by using those commands. I will start the Django part from Monday onwards. and I'm not going to teach any installations or anything, because there are only, I think, so 6 days left. I will complete all the Django basics within 6 days. So that's why I'm not going to explain the installations and some installations or anything. There is nothing much in installations. Only there are some pip comments. Okay, you can do it. You can do all these pip comments or in your PyCharm also. If at all if you are using this PyCharm, then you can install your Django in your PyCharm, or you can do it in your command prompt also. Okay, that is all about your wish. That is all about what's the IDE you are using for this PyCharm. I mean, sorry, Python. This is all for today's lecture. You can leave now. Thank you.